What's up everyone, and welcome back to the Evolved Jeeping channel. On today's video, as you probably saw on the thumbnail, we're going to be installing a set of Boost Auto trail mirrors. But before we get into that and see what my buddy Dakota is doing on his Jeep, we're first going to mention that a couple weeks ago, I posted a video where I attended the Great Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion, and in that video, I highlighted all the new products I found at that show. Well, one of the brands that I found at that show was actually Boost Auto. And this was actually the first time I've ever come across this product or this brand in the Jeep market, because I have known about them in the truck market. But in the Jeep market, they're fairly new to it. And what they were highlighting at this event was their trail mirrors and their permanent side steps. And I have to say, after seeing these two products in person, I was quite impressed by the products they were bringing out. They had some really cool features that I've never seen anyone do, and the overall craftsmanship of these products was pretty much high quality. It was top notch in my opinion. So when I posted that video, they actually reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to get a set of their trail mirrors to put on my Jeep and test out. Well guys, of course I was going to say yes, because I thought this was a great opportunity, but for myself, I actually find those mirrors a little bit big. I think they're a little large. I think they're a better tow mirror than necessarily a trail mirror. But this is my opinion. So I said, well, can I get a set and install it on someone else's Jeep? And they said, of course. So I reached out to a buddy of mine who's actually located very close. His name is Dakota. And I'll put his Instagram post below. It is, I think it's Ocean Blue _JL. Ocean Blue _JLU. Make sure to check it out because his Jeep is really nicely built out and very clean. But I reached out to him and asked him, what do you think of these mirrors? And he actually said, I've actually been looking at those and wanted to have them in Jeep. So see guys, it's my opinion. Some people really like them and think they're really cool. So yeah, so that's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be installing them on his Jeep today. For the installation, I am not going to go through all the steps of the installation because Boost Auto actually has a really good installation video online that I highly recommend that you follow. And there's no way I'm going to make it better. Everything they did in them was so clean, so easy to understand, and very straightforward. So there's no point in us doing that, which is exactly why he's already started, because what we're going to do is just simply highlight some of the things, but we're not going to really go into the fine details. If you want the fine details, check out that video. So guys, to give you a little background about the mirrors start at a price of $400. That is the base entry. But then once you start to add in all the features, which we actually went for all of the features, the price comes out to about $761. Some of these features include the sequential turn signals, the running lights, you have your front-facing extra lights on the front of them. You can get them in a low output or a high intensity output. So we went with the high one. And then the other features, which are actually really cool, are some factory features. So you have the option for the blind spot monitoring, which we went with because his Jeep does have the blind spot sensors. And then we went with the heated mirrors. And for the heated mirrors, you can actually choose whether you just want the top or if you want the top and the bottom. So that's really cool. I have to go back and correct something. The light output is actually not for the front-facing lights. The front-facing lights have one setting. The reverse light is the one that you can choose between a low intensity or a high intensity. So for the reverse light, we actually went with the high intensity. So guys, at this point, let's go ahead and see what Dakota is doing, and we'll show you the general steps of what you need to do. Thank you. So guys, we've got one mirror on it, and I just want to show you the difference in size. You can see that's a big difference. I mean, for me, I think they're pretty big, but for someone over here who's having them on, do you like them?
I do.
Okay, so that's all that matters. It's just personal preference. So guys, the joy to this is Dakota works on his own Jeep, so I don't have to do a lot of this work. The first step you have to do here is remove the inside panel. So what you had to do is you had to pop off a little bit of a plastic panel here to act as that screw. So you're gonna do that. Then you gotta do these two screws right here, which you already pulled off. And then there's the 4 down here, right? There's 2 down here. And once you do that, you're simply just gonna pop off the cover. So he's gonna get at that. If it's your first time taking off the cover, it's definitely going to be a bit of a challenge. We have a feeling his covers have been off from Mopar at one point, so they seem to be coming off fairly easily. So once you got that, next is to disconnect the plug at the bottom here. Gotta push down.
Push it. There you go.
Then you're gonna come up to the top here. So it's right there. And you're gonna disconnect. I guess these are for the handles and the locks. Again, guys, all of these instructions on how to do this are listed in the Boost Auto video. They do a really good job at showing you exactly how to do this. So once you do that, the panel is free. Next part is just to remove the mirror. All you got to do is undo those 3 bolts right there, and then it will come off. Make sure when you remove that last bolt that you're holding onto the mirror, because otherwise that mirror is going to fall. So what's really cool about this kit is the way they've designed the wiring. So they've thought about the fact that this is a Jeep and you will take off the doors and the mirror is attached to the doors. So what they've done is they've actually provided you with an intermediate wiring harness. This is designed for one end to plug into the mirror and the other end goes right at the edge of the door. So in the event that you want to disconnect your doors, all you have to do is unplug this wiring harness and your stock one, and you can still remove the door and the mirror together. It's really clever and really impressive to see that they're thinking about who and what vehicle they're putting these on. They're not just giving you a wiring harness that you would run and then once you run it, you can never remove your doors. They're still thinking of the fact that the doors on the Jeep will come off, so they need to make their wiring harness work for that. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is fish this through the little hole. So he's already started fishing a wire here. We then gotta plug this on and fish it through. This is probably the most difficult part and kind of a bit of a pain, but because we've already done the other side, which you can actually see the mirror from here, we should be able to do this a little easier, I think, this time, but we'll see. So let's go give this a shot. So this time, that was not that hard. As you see, we got through it pretty quickly. So now all you have to do is connect the mirror and then install the mirror. So the fun part, to see how it looks. So after this point, all we have to do is add a slit in here to get the new cord through, and then put the door panel back on. Now that we've got the door panel back on, next is the wiring. So they definitely send you a bunch of wires. This is probably more than we're gonna need, but it's great because it gives you the ability to choose what path you wanna run them and how you wanna run these wires. So that's really good. If you do purchase the wiring harness that they have as an option on the lights, what you end up getting is a switch and a fuse for their front-facing lights. So that's good. If you don't have a switch panel already, definitely recommend doing that because it's going to give you everything you need to wire those up. For us, we're actually going to be wiring that into his switch pod and some other accessories. So our wiring technique is going to be a little bit different. So I'm not going to be showing you guys that on camera. If you want to see the exact steps on how to wire this system up to your stock Jeep, I highly recommend that you follow their YouTube video that has the step-by-step instructions on where to run the wires and what to connect them to. So we're gonna go ahead and get this all wired up, and then we'll come back to show you guys what we did and dive into some of the features these have to offer. So guys, we're just finishing up the wiring. He's doing the last connection, which is for the front spotlights. What I'm gonna do is show you guys where we ran everything. We pretty much followed all the instructions that they pretty much did online. We just did some slight differences, and I will explain what we did. But before I do that, I just wanna show you guys how much extra wire this wiring harness comes with. It is amazing. Like, I now have enough wire to almost rewire a lot of the stuff I've done on my Jeep. So it comes with a lot of extra. So if you don't want to follow the directions and you want to run the wires all the way around your Jeep, you can easily do that with the amount of wires I've done. So let's go ahead and take a look at where we run the wires on Dakota's Jeep. So for the wiring, we ended up actually following pretty much the directions that Boost Auto gave. So we ended up running the wiring from that side door all the way under the dash, and then did all the wiring that we needed to do here. Then we took those wires and ran them through the dash. The only thing that we ended up doing different that they did is that we didn't run both the turn signals through this side of the Jeep, because their directions didn't really make sense to us. Because what would happen is you're running a wire this way, and then you're going through to the engine and then running across the engine bay. What we did is we decided to run the driver's side turn signal through the driver's side firewall and then just simply tap it in. A lot simpler in our opinion. Yeah, so that's one thing we did different. And then the next thing we did was for the front facing lights, we actually ran those straight to his switch panel, because he has a switch panel over there on the driver's side. So all we did was run that to underneath the hood. So what we're gonna do now, guys, is we're gonna take a look and check out these features of the light. Let's just do the startup. That's a pretty cool mood for the startup. Okay, just turn it off. Turn off the whole car. So guys, as you can see as well, the visibility is a lot more. You have a lot of better range of visibility. You do have power, as he's adjusting the power right now for only the top one. The bottom one is still manual, so you have to adjust that manually. But the top is adjustable through the factory power switch panel. So guys, we have a small update to add to this video. It's gonna be a little out of place because we actually only figured out a couple days later. When Dakota went out and was driving around his Jeep, he realized that he didn't have up and down setting for the power mirror on the passenger side, right? Yep. It was the passenger side. So we came back, he checked some connections and we thought, okay, maybe it was a connection issue. We did that. Then we contacted Boost Auto and said, look, we're having these issues. We can't figure it out. And they actually willingly sent us out another pair to replace the ones that we had because we thought it was a defective product. Turns out when we put the new one on, still the same issue. So we did a little troubleshooting today, and it's been a longer than we anticipated, that's for sure. But the conclusion we came up to is we actually had an issue with the harness right here. So what seemed to happen is we've already spliced them back together, but what we had happen is both these wires were completely severed, just completely snapped for some reason, which is weird to think of how it happened, not really sure. And it's only those two wires. I'm sure Dakota will probably go and check some of the other wires to make sure none of them else are damaged. But these two were completely severed. Luckily, they were close enough that when we were fiddling around it, we got it to work and we realized this is the problem. So we slid the cover back both ways, found the wire. Now that we've connected it, we're good to go. So if anybody experiences an issue like this when you go to put on your mirrors, I don't know when it happened. It could have happened anytime, I don't think it was when we were doing the install. I have a feeling it could have been before, but
Can't remember last time I adjusted.
yeah, it's one of those things that like it could happen. So the solution is, guys, always check those wire harnesses, because for some reason the wires actually snap, which I've never really seen. Like, what are they using, glass wires or something? Like, it does not make sense why the wire would snap, like sever perfectly. Yeah, so the solution, check your wires if you run into an issue. It might not necessarily be the mirror. At this point, guys, we're just gonna resume where we left off in this video and finish this up. As you can see, the visibility is extreme. He now has the range to see all the way down here and even all the way up. So guys, what we're gonna do now is we're actually gonna take this upstairs to a little bit of darker parking garage and see how these lights react in a darker environment.
Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable.
Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages, a vacant modern kingdom for the taking.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up.
So guys, as you can see from that montage, we have the mirrors installed and they are functioning correctly. Hopefully in that montage, we showed you what the light can do, all the different settings. We showed you during the day, we showed you at night. Hopefully you now can see what they do. They do a lot of cool things. They have this sequential in them. They have the daylight running light. They have the front facing lights and the reverse light. One thing I think Boost Auto might have missed on in this is these front facing lights. I think they could have been a little bit brighter. We feel that the reverse lights are a lot brighter than the front ones, so I think they could have added brighter ones. Not sure if that's a standard and they couldn't go brighter for some reason, but I feel like they could be brighter. So that's one little thing we noticed in terms of performance. Overall, guys, installing these was fairly straightforward, and it's mainly because Boost Auto made a really good video where they showed you everything you need to do. There was no guessing needed, nothing. It was straightforward. They didn't miss a single thing. They told you exactly what wire should go where to connect it. The only thing they didn't tell you is maybe how long the wire is. That's kind of the thing you do have to figure out on your own. And as you saw, they had so much extra wire. Yeah, overall, guys, pretty impressed by this product. My personal opinions of it are, it is a good assembled product. The quality of it seems really good. It's pretty sturdy. As you saw in the montage, you have the ability to still flip it and turn it in. That is still manual. That is not a powered thing. So if you're expecting power for that, that's not gonna be the case. The quality, the mirrors, everything looks pretty good. I'm gonna switch hands here so I can show you the mirror. But yeah, the mirror with the dual, you have a little bit of a concave or convex, I guess, where it's curved and you can see down on the bottom one. The top one is powered. You have your blind spot and heated. In my opinion, guys, after installing them, I still think they're impressive, but I still think they're a little big. I think that they do block a little bit of visibility, so that is one concern I do have with them. One more thing I actually found kind of unique about this was this little neck here. The factory mirrors don't have a neck. Your base plate kind of connects right to the mirror. I was kind of trying to figure out why did they put this neck in, because this neck not only looks a little weird, but it also gives it a little bit of height. What I think it is because these mirrors are actually designed to work on both the JL, JT, and JK. So I think because the JK is a little different, the mounting location of the mirror is a little lower. I think they needed to add this neck in to make it work, so you had visibility from inside. Unfortunately, I think that's what happens when you try to make one mirror work for a bunch of vehicles. You end up with kind of these little weird situations. Again, guys, this is me picking out things. This is me, the designer. For someone like Dakota, he didn't really care about them. He loves the size of them. He likes everything. Is like, I think, what did you say? The lights were the best thing he liked?
Yeah, I like the lights.
Yeah, he loves the lights. He loves...
Definitely fit. And if you're someone who's used to like looking over your mirror as you're turning, definitely get a bit of a blind spot there for sure. But overall, not even it's drawn.
Yeah, so it's gonna be one of those. I think it's one of those things. Is once you start to have it on, you really get used to it, and you get that. Okay, my mirror's a little bigger. I think if we all removed our mirror and drove around, we'd probably be like looking to it. This is just the opposite. It's like you've got a bigger mirror surface, so it's something you have to get used to. I think it's one of those things that I'm just gonna have to stay in touch with Dakota to see how they do over time, see if he has any issues. If I do notice anything, I'll post it on this video so that you guys see what it is, but I don't think there's gonna be an issue. Everything seems really constructed. Yeah, well built. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna have any issue. Not sure the warranty. Check their website to find out what the warranty is, but I'm sure this is a big brand that has been around in the truck scene for quite some time, so I'm sure the warranty they have to offer is good. If you guys have any questions or comments about these mirrors, feel free to post it below. As usual, guys, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Keep evolving your Jeep, and we'll see you guys on the next video.
Take shit, I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.